Hi everybody, welcome back to Eileen's Craft Nook. So this is the second time I'm starting this video. I had done this yesterday and I wanted to use a method I had seen another creator use, jelly bean crafts, and so I started it and I made up my powders and I put the colors on the mold, and then I realized that I didn't pour my layer of resin, and the way she does it, she pours a layer of resin and then adds the powders. So starting again because when the powders dried, they all flaked off and it wasn't going to work anyways. So what I want to do is add my colors, and then I want to use UV resin. This is epoxy resin I poured. You could use UV, but I find it's a waste of UV to put that much in there. So, and then I want to try using a stencil. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm probably going to have to cut this a little bit to get it to fit properly. But let's go ahead and try it and see if we can get it to work. This is just an old stencil I had in my stash. I mean, it's probably 20 years old. So I don't know where I got it from or anything like that to link it or anything, but it's a laser cut stencil. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to mix up my neon powders, and I got these new powders from Let's Resin. I ordered them on Amazon, and it's the Let's Resin neon powders. It's a set of 12. There's only 6 in here because I had the other 6 out because that's what I was using yesterday. So today I'm going to use the lemon, the pink, orange, blue, green, and purple. So you can see my cups are already a little bit colored. I just washed them out and you can use the same cups. If you're interested, the other colors that come in this box are coral, magenta, there's a white, orange, red, deep pink, and red. These colors are yummy. So yummy. They're so vibrant. So I'm going to go ahead and get these mixed up. I'm going to add some powder to each of the cups. I'm going to use isopropyl to mix them and then add them to the mold. So I'm going to put you on a fast forward while I do this. And I will be back once we get these mixed up. Q-tips and add the colors. So I'm going to start with one of the molds. I was only going to do one anyways, but I had enough resin that I poured the second. So let's start with this one. And I'm not doing them in any particular order. I'm not like trying to get rainbow or anything like that, because frankly I have no idea what order the rainbow colors are in. No clue. I'd have to look it up, which I'm not doing. So we're just going to we're going to do this one in lines. And I think it's Mary at Jelly Bean Crafts, if I'm correct. It's Mary that I saw do this method. With her froggies. Okay. I got a little bit too much isopropyl in the blue. I might have to add a little more powder to that because it's coming out kind of watered down. I think I'll add a little more blue powder. Just to thicken that up a bit. Okay. Oops. Okay. I love watching other creators and supporting them, getting ideas on new things to try. Okay, after I finish this line, I am once again going to put you on another fast forward. As I finish off, I'm just going to repeat what I'm doing with the lines until I get this entire coaster done. And then we'll move on to the next step. Colors applied. So the next step is to get our stencil and our UV resin and see if we can, let's see if we can make this work. I'm going to cut the stencil up to make the pieces a bit smaller. And so I'm going to cut the bird out. I don't want to wreck the flower. So I'm going to lay him down. I do want to use some of the flowers, so he's down. Now, am I able to UV resin him? I'm going to get my gloves on, get my little UV light. Let's try this. Pure experimenting here, guys. I'll bring you in a bit closer. There we go. All right. Now, what I want to do, my hope is, I don't want to UV my stencil down. I need to be able to get it back up again. But I want to UV the outline. So my thought is to kind of set it, but not fully set it, because I want to pull it up, but I don't want to, how's this going to work? If I pull that stencil off, is it going to pull off the UV resin? I'm thinking it might. I don't know. Let's see. this may not work. But if it doesn't, then fine, we all learn together. See, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this stencil up without pulling the UV resin up with it. That's my guess, but let's see. And maybe I shouldn't be trying to cure it. Maybe I should lay the UV, then pick up the stencil, and then quickly UV it after I pick the stencil up. Because I'm not doing a very good job just getting in those holes. It's kind of going all over. So, and maybe that would be the case, is to place the UV like I'm doing now, quickly pick up the stencil, and then throw my light over it to set it. Okay, so maybe we'll try that. I'm going to grab my light, make sure it's plugged in. It is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that stencil off, with trying not to impact the darn paint underneath. So let me grab my tweezers, and I'm going to hopefully be able to, come on, lift and cure, come on. So lift, I don't think that was very successful. I peeled the paint off right there, you can see, but that's okay because the paint was going to come off anyways. Where there's not stencil, the plan was to wipe that UV resin off anyways. So let's see what happens. So it's not, I pulled the color up there. It doesn't have the greatest, you know what, it's okay. We are going to go with it. I'm going to add a little bit of color back in here where I lost it, like that. And I'm going to actually add a little more UV resin over top of that. Okay. I also lost some of the color here where the green pulled up. Gosh, guys, this might be a disaster. Okay. I'm actually going to add more resin to that entire outline of the bird. Mm-hmm. And the wing's going to be full, and it didn't, those little laser cuts in the stencil are too fine to work here. So we are going to do that. I don't know. I don't think it's going to look like a bird when we're done, but oh well. And I'm going to thin that out a bit for his beak. All right. Probably making more of a mess. Okay, let's get this curing again before I knock everything out. Pull off. Oh no, that didn't work. Okay guys, this is definitely the experimental one. It's not fully cured, but that's okay. Yeah, that did not work. Does not look like a flower. So I'm just going to do some dots. This one is definitely a fail. I'm going to finish it anyways. And try the other one. I'm not going to do the stencil. I have to think of a different way. I don't think it's going to work with this method. So just so we can retain some of these colors, I'm just going to add some of these dots. Around what I wanted to be a bird, but it's going to turn out to be a blob in the middle. All right, I'm going to let this cure fully now. Okay, now the idea is to wipe off all the excess color with the exception of where you have the UV resin. Just be careful not to dislodge your UV resin. I really don't like that flower. And you really cannot tell that that's a bird. A hummingbird. Finish cleaning this up, guys, and then we'll be back for the final step. Okay, before I back the other one, I thought, oh, let's just do this one too. So I added a little more color to the cups, but this time I'm just going to randomly pour this in. Well, this video might get worse and worse, guys, instead of better. Okay, now definitely wear gloves when you're doing this, or you're going to have very colorful hands, just like I have very colorful gloves. Now, I'm purposely trying to get it into spots that may not have any color yet. The reason I did it this way, I just didn't have the patience to do the lines again, to be quite honest with you. No, I haven't done green. I thought I had because I see where the yellow and the blue mixed. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring in the background. Now this would be cool if you did like all the pinky type colors, like do just pinkas, that's not a word, Eileen. Pinks and oranges or something. Pinks and purples. Okay, let's get some of the negative space that we left. Okay, and what color? I think a little more blue up here in the corner. Maybe a little more blue here. And now the blues are run. You can see where the blue is running a bit. I might have had my. If you can prevent that, just mix your powders up with the less isopropyl to make the mixture thicker. And that would resolve that issue. I'm gonna let it dry for a few minutes. I'm not sure. I would have to go look back at one of Jelly Bean Craft's videos to see if she let it dry before she added the UV. I would think you probably should let it dry. So I'm just going to give this a minute to dry a bit and then we'll be back. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to add, I think I'm just going to add little drops. I was thinking about doing some lines, but I haven't decided yet. Let's see what we get. So I'm just going to do drop, drop, drop. Maybe see if I can get some different sizes. Cure for 2 seconds. Do a little bit bigger drop. couple little guys. I'm just doing like a quick cure here so that they're not, excuse me, flowing too much. I will fully cure it with my light. That's not in those bubbles. Being careful not to knock your bubbles off, and hopefully, and I think I did this with the other one, not loosen. Oop, I knocked a bubble off. See, that's why I said to be careful, because that's what happens. To loosen it from the, oh, I just knocked another one off. From the edge of the mold, like break that suction, because when you put your top coat on, it's going to, these are coming off a lot. Easier than in the last one. So yeah, just try to be gentle. Excuse me, be gentle. Take your time. All right, it's all cleaned up. I'm gonna add a little bit of my liquid black resin dye, just a couple drops. I've made up 4 ounces of resin, and I am top coating it with black. So I'm just gonna get the resin added on, and then we're gonna let these dry, and then I'll be back for the unmolding. See you then. Demold time. Okay, I had a little bit of extra, so I have this little tiny mold. So I just poured them in there. You can see that they're like a textured. So you can just put like a bail on the back of these and turn them into like little pendants if you want. You know, kind of plain. They're all the same color, but cute little mold to use for if you just have a tiny bit of resin left over. It's stars and hearts. I want to try these with the chrome powder and see, because I think they'll be really cute done up in a chrome powder. All right, so let's start with this one. This is the attempt at the stencil, which I already know is not going to look like a big colorful blob in the middle of the mold, but let's take a look anyways. A little bit of over pour here. All right. Oh, there we go. So what I thought, nowhere even close to looking like a bird, but you can see how those colors come out where the UV resin is. Anyways, definitely a fail, but that's okay. Let's take a look at this guy, which just had the dots on it. Oh, well, that's pretty cool, actually. Very colorful. Yeah, I like that. Now, I could put a top coat on this and probably bring it out even more. I'm not going to, because I'm probably not going to do anything with these, but I do like how this turned out. The colors look pretty cool. So if you wanted a matching set of, and you can tell the order I put the colors on, because you can see the purple is closest to, I still have neon powder on me. The purple seems closest to the resin, and then you can see it kind of layered, like where there's blue and green underneath of it. Here you can see the purple and it's got the pink underneath of it. That's kind of cool. I did not think you'd be able to see the colors from behind. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. So this one I consider a success. This one was, my first attempt to get to this one, and knowing not to try those fine stencils with UV resin. Might be able to try it like to brush it on. I don't know if I'll try it again or not, but that's it for this one. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you. Bye.